Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, I'm just gonna jump right in. Oh, Pat's texted me. Um, yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I'm gonna just jump right in. We got Scott Redler doing conversations with the pro trader at 4:30, but I gotta do at least a 20-minute update on a day like today. So I am an associated member of T3 Trading Group, which is an SEC registered broker dealer and a member of FINRA SIPC. All of my trades are placed through T3 Trading Group. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your own financial condition. Position disclosure, I got out of HCP, I got out of Bank of America, I got out of Unity. That was a nice chop. I got into Pfizer today, and I kept a little bit of it. I'm not big, but it was a pretty good execution on my end, basically near lows. And I sold some UVixie into the close. It's like my only real loser on the day, but I am keeping some. Don't ask me why. Seriously, don't ask me why. I can't really put my finger on it. I mean, I guess I can at least to. I could put my finger on it to some degree, actually. Hold on, I'm just gonna fill in a position. It basically had to do with the way at the beginning of the day we had VIX up, market up. I thought it was weird. I decided to buy some UVixie, and obviously the VIX sold off and UVixie sold off when the market was ripping higher. But I felt like the market was significantly stronger than UVixie was weak, so I did take off 20% of my position into the close, but I am keeping a medium-sized position in UVixie. But this needs to go. This needs to be in my favor tomorrow, or I'm dumping it quick. And even the problem is that, even if I want to take a little bit of a short-term bullish stance on the VIX, there's no good way to do it. At least not that I have access to. This UVixie is such a garbage product that trying to be a UVixie bull, pun intended, Mr. UVixie bull, I know who you are because I can see your email address in the VTF there. Just trying to be a UVixie bull with this product being as terrible as it is. It's pretty much impossible. This is really only good for very short-term trades, and I do actually think that there is going to be a massive VIX long trade at some point. That'll be like a short 3 to 5 day trade. I just don't know. That could be any point in the next 5 years. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. But there was some interesting relative strength in the VIX today. And I think that there is a possibility that the VIX can even move higher almost no matter what the market does tomorrow to some degree. If we get continuation like we got today and they're squeezing the hell out of the short squeeze names, you could see the VIX move up with the market. And obviously, if we get a pullback on the market, then this should bounce a little bit also. But, I mean, volatility is so compressed that trying to be on the other side of that trade at the bottom, what I specifically said on trying to be long UVixie is that being long from the bottom is impossible. I think when the really good trade eventually happens in this thing, you will feel like you're chasing price, but it could be such a big trade that you need to chase price and you'll need to do it with size. That is what I'm eventually looking for. So just like buying this thing at new all-time lows and expecting that I'm getting some sort of real bottom here, this is an extremely low probability of success. But there was something a little notable I thought today, just with the VIX, at least this UVixie product, showing some strength along with the market today that was a little bit interesting. So I'm keeping some. I also agree with what Pat said though when I was deciding in the closing if I should keep it or not. That it'll probably give me a chance to get it tomorrow if I did close out into the end of the day today. And I am holding the position against me right now. Not massively against me by any means, but could easily gap against me even further tomorrow. Let's go, Dimitri. I am still long the market, but this market move is absolutely insane, so I sized down some things. There's actually a decent amount to talk about. I don't have a lot of time, so let me try to talk a little bit faster. The market went up a lot, okay? Blanket statement. The S&P here is up 1.4%. The Q is up 1.25%. The IWM is up a whopping 3.6%. I mean, just absolutely... just absolutely insane that move there. Just turn on my camera for the people on YouTube. And actually I need to make sure that there's no... I'm a mess. Make sure that there's no echo. If there was, I had probably just fixed it. Anyway, yeah, market was up huge. IWM was up hugest. This is what I've been looking for. This type of rotation on a move where TLT moves higher and the interest rates move down. That's what I was looking for all of November. I didn't really get it, but we've been getting it a little bit here in the month of December. It's just a massive IWM move. I'm not going to recap the news. Everybody was there. The Fed came out. They were super dovish. We're looking at, they're obviously not hiking anymore. It's all but been said unless something insane happens, and we're looking at cuts in 2024. Really seemed to be. I didn't think that Powell would really confirm the cuts. It would just be kind of more hinting and speculation, but he kind of all but confirmed that we're looking at cuts now in 24, and that dot plot there was looking pretty dovish also. So the market just absolutely exploded on it. I mean, it was a massive day. My concern as a bull was getting through this week. CPI, PPI, I forgot about the PPI. PPI came in light this morning. Getting through CPI, PPI, and the Fed, and well, here we are, up huge. We said in the morning meeting today that it wouldn't be impossible for this market to stretch to SPY 470, and guess where we are right now at the close? We're at SPY 470. I mean, it's just an insane move, and we actually hit $10 of extension today at highs. So we're hitting that more extreme extension territory. Tomorrow's going to be interesting because the day after a Fed day is oftentimes, but not always, a trend day. So we'll see if tomorrow can be a trend day. It'll be very difficult for it to be a trend day up now with this degree of extension. Unless we get a little bit of a gap down and we go sideways for a little bit and then we break up and trend up intraday, I think it'll be difficult because of this degree of extension. But looking for a trend day down tomorrow, I don't know if anyone wants to take that bet after the Fed today. So we'll see. I'll follow my normal game plan as we get at $10 worth of extension. And unfortunately, I had to briefly step away from my desk at 3 p.m. when, what did Pat say, the SPY 5-minute RSI was 94. He's never seen it that high. That coincided with us getting to $10 of extension on the SPYs and the Qs. Unfortunately, I had to kind of briefly step away from my computer for 10-15 minutes there, and I missed that opportunity to short, because I would have done, and I will do potentially tomorrow if it gives me the opportunity, exactly what I've been doing, which is, as we get into that $10 plus worth of extension, build into shorts versus kind of the ADMA on the daily chart like I was doing in November as I continue to piece out of my longs. But yeah, I mean, what a massive move. We are starting to work our way towards these all-time highs. I think the Dow made all-time highs today. Who's got their all-time high hat on? Yeah, all-time high in the Dow. Really impressive. So I guess that's a brief overview of the market. As far as individual names go, it was a pretty wild day. CCCC, I missed a lot of this move. I bought this thing, I don't even remember what my price was, $270 pre-market? Yeah, this was great. We got the... Yeah, it is sick price in this thing, $270. Wow. Granted, I was out by 350, and it ran to 6, but because Josh said it's because I hate money, Yeah, I mean, look, we saw the upgrade early on in the day. There was a nice little trade there pre-market for 20 cents worth of risk. I jumped in, taking some shots, honestly, and it worked out pretty well. Tesla was the conviction trade today to the short side, and that trade was working wonderfully until the Fed ruined it. Um, yeah, I mean, just was looking to see with some bad news today on Tesla if it could really break this wedge to the downside, and the trade was really through 234. So I kind of was cheating a little bit pre-market and hitting 234 just above 234 in case we got opening momentum. The opening low is 234 on the dot. They held it there, they ripped it higher, they filled the gap, they created that pivot point. I was adding into that up move, to be honest. I had decent size in this thing at a certain point, and we finally broke that 234, and it was a great trade. It really was a really good trade. We got extended. We gave a 15-minute correction, which is perfect for that time of the day. Shook out the little tight 5-minute traders. Pat called out the 15-minute pivot high. He was in it with me. A bunch of you guys were in it with me. And then we got this beautiful waterfall all the way down to 228-ish. My target was really 225. We didn't quite get there. I was honestly trading it very greedy. So I did make money on this position. I made an okay amount of money, but I also gave back a lot of money because I was being super greedy on it. And, you know, the Fed came out and they ripped this thing all the way up, and I gave it all the way back to 234.50 as per my game plan. And I got, you know, off the 15-minute pivot, and I got stopped out of it. And I'm fine with that. I would trade it the exact same way tomorrow. If it wasn't for the Fed, it would have been a phenomenal trade. So I think that was my main focus kind of on the intraday basis. On the daily chart, I liquidated Bank of America today into this move. 32 has been my target. Went to 32. I'm out. HCP got the move in this, so I got out of that again. I'm out. Coursera I got into and out of. Unity. Liquidated Unity. My target on this thing's been 35. Been in this thing for a while. I had a phenomenal buy in this thing after hours on a lot of size at like 21.50 on that earnings report. Caught the move to 35. Just a good way to the end of the year. I don't know what else to say about it. And it's pretty much all that I've got. I mean, just a wild day with this market, seriously. And it's an interesting area because it's how do you be bearish on this market right now? But I don't know. I need to see some data. I need to see some sentiment data. I need to see some positioning data. I need to like reground myself in the real fundamentals of where this market is right now, to kind of assess where I want to be, because I'm at a great time here now to kind of reassess my portfolio and everything, because the move has been so big. I've been able to fully liquidate positions, size down a lot on other positions into this up move, and that's pretty much it. I guess that's all that I got. So happy to answer any questions over the course of this next 5 minutes, and then we can tune over to Scott Ruther on Conversations with the Pro Trader. So I don't know if anybody has any quickies, but otherwise, Pfizer I didn't mention. Pfizer was a great day trade. Just the 5-minute RDR. You know, we talked about Pfizer, that I didn't think it was like, it was obviously not a good earnings report, but I thought that there was some stuff that was good within the report. So I saw the first 3 bars were heavy selling bars of people who are probably stuck and panicking out. And they gave, I love those bottoms on big gap downs that happen 15 minutes in. I gave this 5-minute RDR. So literally all I did was buy this back through the low. I think I got 81 cents as my entry. And I put a stop loss at the low of the day, so I had 6 cents worth of risk. And the reward profile on it, you know, isn't too bad. I think this thing could snap back to 27.50 or 28 bucks on the daily chart if it wants to continue. But yeah, it was a good little day trade, especially for the risk. So forgot to mention that one. Brandon N, thoughts on Tesla? Yeah, so Tesla now is going to be really hard. The trade was today, I think, and it tailed back above the level and closed well. Obviously, it did that because of the market, and you could still, Tesla's still very clearly relatively weak. Tesla right now is up, 0.9%. The Qs are up 1.25%. ARC is up 4% to give you more of an idea of growth. You know, sometimes Tesla's like a little more of a growth name. Sometimes it's a little bit more of a big cap tech stock. So Tesla was definitely relatively weak today, but look at this daily chart. Failed breakdown, snapback, big tail closing at highs. That's a hard chart to short, even if it is a relatively weak name. So for me, now that it's back in the range, it's something that I'm going to go hands off on. I'm not going to trade it. Yeah, and what Rich here is saying, you know, sometimes you get a failed break in one direction leads to the break in the other. That could definitely happen, and you want to look at that 246 area on the upside. But the flip side of it, again, is that it is still very relatively weak. So I don't know. Do you want to go after the long side, like one of the weaker names that was out there today? But probably not. Do you want to short a name that had a daily candle like this and a failed breakdown? It's a very difficult trade. So again, for me, it's back in the range. I'm going to be hands off, let it reset up, let it do whatever, and then maybe I'll look at it again. But that was an awesome trade today. It's just that the Fed ruined it. I mean, if you were short anything today, no matter how good of a trade it was, when 2 o'clock hit, it just didn't matter. It just didn't matter. This market was just insane at that point. Yeah, SoFi had an insane move, up 11.5%. They ripped a lot of these stocks here. So yeah, that one was also pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, Carvana, all these names. All those names are up huge today. Beautiful squeeze. As long as you knew your levels, momentum buying through levels today paid really well. All right. Yeah, Pound. Yeah, there's still some that were a little bit weak on the growth front. You know, Palantir only up 2%. Should be up more. Chewy only up 3%. Should be up more. But whatever. Palantir's been a little heavy ever since they didn't get included into the S&P. All right, gang. It is 4:27. So I'll end the meeting earlier than usual so that everybody has the opportunity to tune over to Scott Redler on Conversations with the Pro Trader with Greta Wall. I'll see you there. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.